Today, we are tackling what is honestly one of the most fundamental conflicts of human nature. On one hand, we've got this deep burning desire for success, wealth, and achieving our biggest goals. But on the other hand, we have our absolute undeniable addiction to just being comfortable. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why giving up your cozy comfort zone isn't just a nice idea. It's actually a strict requirement if you want to reach those goals. Okay, let's dive right into this. Listen to this quote because it's a bit of a gut punch. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. When we talk about manifesting wealth or hitting some massive milestone, we love picturing the finish line, right? But the hard truth is sacrifice isn't optional. It's the entry fee. If you refuse to give up certain comforts right now, you are actively choosing to sacrifice your future dreams instead. To make this super real, let me ask you something. And I want you to be completely honest with yourself here. What are you doing with your Sundays? Really think about it. For a lot of us, Sundays are strictly for lounging on the couch, surrounded by snacks, maybe having a few drinks with friends, betting on fantasy leagues, and just wasting the entire day watching NFL football. And hey, it feels great in the moment for sure. But what is that routine actually costing you in the long run? That brings us to section 1, the cost of comfort. Let's take a look at these silent dream killers. The source material shares this incredibly powerful realization that perfectly captures this cost. Just picture it. Imagine sitting there on a Sunday, totally broke, spending hours glued to a football game. You're sitting completely stagnant on a couch, literally cheering on and celebrating a bunch of millionaires who have already achieved their dreams. They're out there putting numbers on the board, living out their ultimate success story, and they have absolutely no clue who you are. Meanwhile, you probably know their stats better than you know the stats of your own business. Look, if you want to win, you've got to get off the couch and start putting your own numbers on the board. 2 full years. That is exactly how long the source decided to completely cut out watching NFL football. People actually asked if it was some sort of political protest, but the answer was brilliantly simple. No, I'm protesting being broke. Instead of making endless excuses about how much they love the sport, they took their Sundays back. They took all those extra hours and poured them directly into building the life they actually wanted to live. And, the sacrifice didn't just stop at time. It extended right to their money as $10 a week for lunch. Now, what does that actually look like? It meant a daily rotation of Chef Boyardee, ravioli, SpaghettiOs, and a cheap pack of lemon cookies. Was it a culinary masterpiece? Absolutely not. Was it wildly uncomfortable? Definitely. But it was a calculated sacrifice to save cash and stay laser focused on the primary mission. Now, what's really interesting about this next slide is how it shifts from a personal story to a universal rule. Section 2, the law of exchange. You see, sacrifice isn't some kind of punishment. It's a natural, unavoidable law of how things work. Think about it like breathing. It's literally impossible to take a breath in without first giving a breath out, right? We constantly exchange carbon dioxide for oxygen. The entire universe operates on this concept of equal exchange. You simply cannot expect to gain massive success, wealth, or freedom without releasing something in return. You have to trade your current comforts for your future success. There's just no way around it, which leads us to section 3. Your subconscious is sabotaging you. To put it bluntly, your subconscious mind is kind of like a lazy, dumb AI program. Just like ChatGPT only acts on the exact prompts you type into it, your subconscious doesn't really have any reasoning ability of its own. Its entire primitive design is just to keep you safe, warm, and cozy. Basically keeping you away from the proverbial tigers that chased our ancestors. It operates purely in ones and zeros. So safety, lounging on the couch, immediate pleasure that registers as a 1. But pain, effort, fear, or say skipping a Sunday football game to grind on your business that registers as a big fat 0. And your subconscious will do literally everything in its power to avoid it. So here's how we end up getting trapped. Right at your center is your core self. That's the part of you that knows you want to be a successful entrepreneur, but wrapped around that is this lazy subconscious. Then outside of that comes your thoughts, then your emotions, and finally groupthink from society on the very outside. So when you're faced with a sacrifice, your subconscious immediately triggers lazy emotions. Then you use your logical thoughts to justify those lazy feelings. You tell yourself, well, it's week 1 of the NFL. I've worked hard. I deserve a break. And just like that, boom. You've rationalized your way right out of success. Let's move to section 4, decisions versus choices. It's time to talk about definitive action. Listen, you have to stop making choices and start making actual decisions. There's a massive difference. Choices leave you with options. And when you give your dumb AI brain options, it is always going to pick the easiest, safest route back to the couch. But a true decision is definitive. You literally cut off all other alternatives. When you hand a definitive problem to your subconscious without giving it an escape hatch, it has no choice but to work 24/7 in the background to find a solution for you. Let's look at a timeline of what a definitive decision actually looks like in practice. The source decided they were going to fire their job. And notice that wording, not quitting, but firing the job. They set a super strict weekly budget, saved aggressively, and on April 1, 2016, they officially made the definitive move. But what's really fascinating here is that on that exact Friday, their father called them and they didn't answer. They intentionally ignored the call because they knew their dad would be upset, and that would heavily influence that outer layer of groupthink, which would spark negative emotions and introduce doubt. They protected their definitive decision at all costs. And right before firing that job, they hit their freedom number, which was $20,000 saved up in the bank. Now the source had a friend who looked incredibly successful from the outside. We're talking a nice house, cars, motorcycles, hosting all the parties. But when the source casually mentioned they had 20 grand saved up, the friend was visibly shocked. He admitted he had nowhere near that amount of cash. That is the stark ironic reality, isn't it? The friend had the absolute appearance of success but zero actual freedom because he completely refused to sacrifice his daily comforts. And this brilliantly illustrates our next major point. As a society, we are so obsessed with work-life balance, but think about a scale for a second. A perfectly balanced scale has zero movement. It is completely stagnant. You simply cannot achieve massive success while maintaining perfect balance. To reach your biggest goals, you have to embrace seasons of intense, uncomfortable, and completely unbalanced sacrifice, which brings us to our final part. Section 5, the be before the get. Most people follow a completely flawed progression in their heads. They think, okay, once I get the money, say 10 grand a month, then I'll start investing in my business and then I'll become generous and give back to my community. It is completely backwards. Let's be real. If you won't even spend $2.99 to remove a watermark from an app today, you are not going to magically start investing big money when you have more of it. If you're stingy today, you're going to be stingy tomorrow. So the crucial point is this. You must become the person who sacrifices first in order to get the results. You can't just sit around waiting for success to arrive so you can finally change your habits. You have to get on the right frequency right now. You have to embody the identity of a successful, sacrificing, laser-focused individual way before the wealth ever actually manifests. Think about nature for a minute. Every creature on earth has a natural success mechanism built right in. A bird doesn't sit around overthinking how to fly, it just flaps its wings. A shark doesn't have to take a course on how to be a shark. It just swims and bites. Humans are literally the only creatures who are too smart for our own good. We use our big logical brains to justify our fears and talk ourselves out of doing what we inherently know we need to do. You have to stop overthinking and just start acting on your true goals. We've covered a whole lot of ground in the explainer today, but I want to leave you with one final provocative question. What are you actually willing to sacrifice to get what you want? Most people live a life they secretly hate, complain about it all day Sunday, and then drag themselves right back to the same job on Monday because they absolutely refuse to be uncomfortable. It's time to make a definitive decision. What comfort are you letting go of today? Thanks so much for watching. And remember this explainer the next time you're forced to choose between your comfort and your success. Thanks for watching the video this far. I'm excited to share with you an in-depth article on how to create, share, and monetize lead magnets effortlessly, all without technical skills or expensive tools. This article dives deep into the essential steps for building an audience genuinely interested in your brand. It's designed to help you leverage the skills you already have to create and launch a profitable digital business today. Whether you're just starting out or looking to refine your approach, this guide offers valuable insights to set you on the right path. And one of the key topics covered is why manual outreach and legacy systems can't keep up. You will learn that speed is a vital component of lead conversion. Research shows that responding to a lead within minutes rather than hours dramatically increases the likelihood of a successful sale. The fact that manual systems lack the agility required to pivot when audience behavior changes shows how Lead Creator can address this need. The article helps you pinpoint what your audience truly needs and how your unique skills can meet those needs effectively, ensuring your product stands out in a crowded market. Next, the article explores how to craft compelling content that resonates with your audience and drives sales. It emphasizes the importance of storytelling, clarity, and authenticity in your messaging. You'll learn techniques to create content that not only educates but also emotionally connects with your potential customers. This approach helps build trust and encourages engagement, which are essential for transforming interest into actual purchases. Another vital aspect discussed is effective packaging, how to present your knowledge in a captivating way that appeals to your target market. Alongside this, the article outlines strategies for building a marketing plan that truly connects with the eager buyers. It covers everything from branding and positioning to choosing the right channels for promotion. These insights empower you to showcase your digital product's value clearly and attract the right audience consistently. Finally, the article addresses the challenges new creators often face and offers advice on staying motivated and focused throughout the journey. Launching a digital product can be demanding, but with the right mindset and strategies, you can overcome obstacles and keep progressing. This section provides encouragement and practical tips to help you maintain momentum and achieve long-term success. So go ahead and click on the link below to get started today and turn your ideas into impactful digital products.